commitment to progressive diplomacy has signaled changes in the country's foreign policy stance. A diplomat and chief of staff to the president, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, stated this in a message at a conference in Abuja. Usman Aliu reports.
This public lecture, organized by the Society for International Relations Awareness, provides one significant illustration, that is how Nigeria's diplomacy in recent years is guided by national interests. In their submissions, experts on diplomacy were quick to explain how the stalemate between Nigeria and big power nations jeopardized peace and security at the time Nigeria was at the most difficult times. That situation changed for the better by the Buhari presidency, as explained by Professor Ibrahim Gambari, himself a diplomat and academic, now chief of staff to the president, in a message delivered by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Jeffrey Onyama.
The Buhari administration was able to mobilize international support for the war against Boko Haram, forging strong partnerships with key countries, including the United States, the United Kingdom, France, Germany, ECOWAS sub-region, the AU, as well as the United Nations. After years of stalemate, the United States finally agreed to sell, and has indeed sold, weapons to Nigeria, 12 Super Tucano aircraft.
Even though Nigeria's foreign policy did not change since independence, but there are opportunities beyond economy and neighborhood diplomacy.
A couple of things that were enunciated by the Prime Minister in the 60s have been achieved. The other issues, economic development and the rest of them, nation building is what is being pursued today.
Please let us continue our Pan-Africanist foreign policy. Let's be our brother's keeper. Let Nigeria be, a champion of all black people in the world.
They say President Buhari's resolution has brought Nigeria's global commitments in line, both with its core national interests and its material means. Usman Aliu, NTA News.
The Nigerian Army has restated commitment to security of lives and property. This was at a workshop for veterans in Jos. Grace Akweguti reports.
The 3 days was spent x-raying the entire security architecture with a view to finding lasting solution. Some of the cardinal points discussed at the workshop includes the inclusion of veterans in intelligence gathering and the need for regular refresher courses for security, among others. The veterans are also of the opinion that justice and fairness are key to a peaceful society, as they appeal to those in authorities to be fair to all.
Honestly, I've learned a lot. First of all, the issue deals with security. And I've got to understand that for you to ensure security, you need to harness the efforts, both materially and human efforts, if you must achieve security. This conference has been able to bring out this very, very well.
I am convinced that important roles that will be played by our veterans in enhancing our national security architecture have been illustrated in the course of deliberations and interactive sessions.
A communique was issued at the end of the workshop. In Jos, Grace Akweguti, NTA News.
The federal government is working towards restoring peace and enhancing economic opportunities for growth and development. Special Advisor to President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, stated the commitment during a conference of the Youth Wing of the Christian Association of Nigeria in Abuja. Omenka Amarachuku reports.
Nigeria has had its fair share of security challenges occasioned by insecurity, banditry, and other forms of restlessness with devastating impacts. And acknowledging the role youths played in crisis situation, the Youth Wing of the Christian Association of Nigeria is mobilizing youths towards achieving lasting peace.
One thing is certain, this is a phase, and as a nation, we are confident that we're going to overcome.
We have lots and lots of plans to make sure that events like this will continue to throw up people that will bring about the changes we've been clamoring for in this country.
Presidential advisor on media, Femi Adesina, urged youths to leverage on government empowerment programs nationwide for economic prosperity.
We must learn to accommodate one another. Accommodation is the first step to peace.
Femi Adesina appealed to churches to always preach peace and unity of the country, as nothing can be achieved in an atmosphere of rancor. In Abuja, Umeka Mrachuku, NTA News.
Finding lasting solution to the continuous conflicts in communities in Basa local government area, Governor Simon Lalong has held a consultative meeting with the Irigwe and Fulani leaders from the locality. In separate discussions, the governor urged the two groups to provide genuine and workable suggestions that will bring the crisis to an end. Priscilla Grumnan has details.
It is in continued search for permanent solution to the persisting attacks in communities in Basa local government area that Governor Simon Lalong convened the meeting held separately behind closed doors with the two groups. While sympathizing with the two communities over the unfortunate incidents in the area, the governor expressed displeasure at the persisting clashes which have resulted to the wanton destruction of lives and property. He called on leaders of the two communities to be frank and honest in their discussions towards proffering lasting solutions to the lingering crisis.
Part of it is these drugs. You can see what we're handling. Even when we put curfews on people, we take drugs and go out and look for lives to kill. Are they normal human beings? They are not. Some of these devils. Of course, we need a lot of prayers. Just as within ourselves too, we must hold on to our faith religiously if we are looking for solutions to some of these things.
Spokespersons for the two groups said they are determined to ensure they rid the locality of criminal elements amongst them.
Being frank, being proactive, then reporting minor incidences on time, and then also calling on security agencies to be up and doing, and then also they need to continue dialoguing, because issues of peace are not things that you earn in a day. To destroy is very easy, but to build it takes time. So we all agree that we'll continue to work with government, we'll continue to work as community leaders, as community members, to see that the peace is really achieved.
Discuss about the reintegration of people. Let them go back and sit down together and be watching themselves on what is going on. Number two, we discuss on vigilante, joint patrols of vigilante, both Fulani and Irigwe. Let them work together as in synergy to curtail these criminalities. Number three, we discuss of collaboration. We need a very strong collaboration between government security agencies, we community leaders, traditional leaders, youth leaders, and so on and so forth, to come down and discuss the issues and then provide solutions for them.
They also appealed to the government to address some of the concerns raised, as they assured of their determination to tolerate and accommodate one another. In Jos, Priscilla Grumnan, NTA News.
Following recent incidents of killings in some parts of Plateau State, religious leaders in the state have called on citizens to be peaceful, law-abiding, and be their brothers' keepers. The reports. The recent killings that occurred at Gadabiu-Rukuba Road and the skirmishes that followed thereafter disrupted the relative peace the state had been enjoying. Religious leaders who condemned the killings along with attacks encouraged all to look out for each other and live according to the dictates of both religions that preach love, peace, and unity.
We have a golden rule: do to others what you like others to do to you. If you want to be loved, show love. If you don't want to be killed, if you don't want to be killed, don't kill. So that will help us to live as brothers and sisters. No human being would like to be killed. No human being wants to be injured. No human being wants to be hated. So why can't we bring love into it so that we live in peace with one another?
In Islam, every life is sacred, and we do not discriminate on the sacredness of life. So that is the values we
cherish and we hold. And I know that even in other religions, it's still the same thing. So when you see people doing these dastardly acts, it's unbelievable. And I don't think there are people that one can say are people of faith.
They further appealed to all parties not to be vengeful, but pray that all enemies of the state and country are brought to justice.
When we talk about reprisal, an attack and reprisal, it doesn't bring peace.
We are patriotic enough. We will love one another. We will love our country. We will do things that will keep our country, high in the eyes of other nations of the world, in a very good, in an esteemed position in the world. And I think that is what we should be doing. Live in peace with ourselves.
The leaders also appreciated government's efforts at ensuring that the situation is contained and lasting peace entrenched. The recent crisis in Jos has again elicited concerns and condemnation from all well-meaning Nigerians, with a call on all to embrace peace. We have the Plateau State Commissioner for Information and Communication, Dan Manjang, with us in the studio to speak on efforts on ground to stop a reoccurrence. Sir, you're welcome to Panorama.
Thank you very much, viewers.
Okay, so to start with, how is the government responding to the situation the state has found itself in?
Yeah, well, as a matter of fact, there are measures that the government had to take that are immediate and some long-term. I will only talk about the immediate ones. Probably for other times we'll talk about the long-term ones. The immediate ones was to be able to put up mechanisms to stop the killing and to build confidence in the minds of the people. We did by His Excellency giving marching orders to the security agencies to occupy the areas that are under attack or the areas of concern. That they did. The Commissioner of Police was up and doing. The GOC 3rd Armored Division was up and doing. The Inspector General of Police was up and doing because he sent a detachment of policemen from Abuja to come and assist in the situation. There have been various levels of consultation. We have consulted with the seeming warring communities. We have consulted with different groups, the Irigwe, the Fulani. We are still consulting. The peace-building agency is up and doing. And I can assure you that the situation as it is today, people are sheathing their swords, and even though we have pockets of killings, but the government has been able to intervene. One other area that we have been able to diagnose and isolate that we must look at immediately is not only enough to bring stakeholders to a round table with government, while the people that are perpetrating these acts are left outside of the discussions. And so we have isolated that, and that is why if you see the community leaders in Jos North have been summoned by government, they've spoken. We have given them marching orders to ward heads, community leaders, and various ethnic and tribal groups to go and talk to their youths. And we are also giving marching orders to local government chairmen. And I can assure you, for example, the chairman of Jos North local government is up and doing. We saw the intervention that he did in sealing a filling station after a student of the University of Jos was killed in that filling station. He went because it was not done in isolation. It's unacceptable by government to say that these people that are perpetrating these acts are not known. They are not ghosts. They are human beings. And for something to have happened in that vicinity, definitely the people running the filling station should have should have questions to answer. And the chairman Jos North, Shehu Balausman, moved swiftly, even before government knew, and he sealed the filling station. The filling station remains sealed. And those are some of the things that the government has been able to do: assemble community leaders, religious leaders of all shades and opinions, women leaders, and discuss with them. But it goes beyond discussion.
Okay, so what's the situation like now, and has there been any improvements so far?
Yes, as I talk to you right now, before Friday, the bus period on Friday, there were high rumors that the curfew had been reviewed, and some started giving it the insinuation and religious coloration that we removed the curfew because we are anti or we are pro-Muslim. But that was not so. That is not so. We are being leveled in various. We are caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. But as a government, as a responsive government, we have to do the needful. We reviewed the curfew and removed it on Friday. There was no incident. In fact, despite the fact some religious sects wanted to organize a demonstration, but Friday went very free. Today, as I talk to you, being Sunday, Christians have been to church. We've not heard of any incident, and some are still in church without any molestation. And so the city center, for people that have cared to go to the city center is calm. People are going about their duties normally. And much, if you're talking about improvement, the situation has much improved. And we are thinking that after the security meeting is held, further review of the curfew will be done. But the people have a responsibility to reciprocate government gesture by stopping the isolated killings that we are receiving along Bauchi bypass road, mostly of University of just students. That has to be stopped, but I can assure you that the security personnel have mounted all the checkpoints and even moving into the communities. Not only the security we must put on record that the Vigilante and Hunters Association and anybody that has something to do with security have assisted tremendously in stopping this madness and carnage and man's inhumanity to man. But so far, I would say that the situation has much improved, and we are looking forward. We want to feel that this should be the first and the last time that we will experience this kind of mad situation.
Okay, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Plateau State Commissioner for Information and Communication, Dan Manjang, for coming here. All right. We've been talking with Plateau State Commissioner for Information and Communication, Dan Manjang, on the recent killings in Plateau State. Panorama continues after this break.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
Nigerian Center for Disease Control has recorded 1,064 new cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria in the last 24 hours. In the latest figures released, Lagos State has 776 new cases, followed by Rivers with 143 new cases, Ekiti 49, Kwara 33, Ogun 21, Benue 18, Oyo 13, FCT 5, Osun 4, and Yobe State 2. Nigeria now has 186,635 confirmed cases of COVID-19, 168,320 discharged, and 2,260 deaths recorded. The ongoing nationwide strike by resident doctors is likely to be suspended soon, as the federal government has promised to start implementation of the agreements reached at the all stakeholders meeting aimed at resolving the doctors' strike. Minister of Labour and Employment Chris Ngige confirmed this while reading Memorandum of Understanding with all stakeholders at a conciliatory meeting.
It is about 21 days since the National Association of Resident Doctors began an indefinite strike over non-implementation of agreements. The meeting, which started about 3 p.m. on Friday and later adjourned in the early hours of Saturday before reconvening in the afternoon same day and lasted till the late night, came up with a new memorandum of understanding.
But we now expect the NMA and NAD to use this as a plank to consult their members with a view to calling off the strike urgently, so we can save the lives that are now being lost unnecessarily.
All the actors signed the agreement except the National Association of Resident Doctors, NAD. NAD representative equally refused to give reasons for declining to sign when approached by journalists. Ngige, however, reacted to what transpired and other issue on the no work, no pay rule.
NAD pleaded with us to consult their members on an item which they want us to include in the conditions of the Memorandum of Understanding. We have inserted our clause that nobody will be victimized for any activity connected with, for or against participating in the industrial action.
As it is now, since all the stakeholders have signed, it is hoped that in coming days, the strike will be over. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
And that's it on Panorama today. But before we go, remember to stand Panorama with NTA today against rape and rapists. Thanks for watching.
NTA, you can't beat the rich. Nigeria, a nation of great people. Different tribes and languages, yet we are united in our diversity. All over the world, Nigerians are known to be very hardworking and resilient people. In our history as a nation, there have been many storms, but just like the eagle, we always saw very high above the storms. Together, as a nation, we stood against Ebola virus disease in 2014, and we conquered. Together as a nation, we shall stand against COVID-19, and we shall surely triumph. Let's do our part as citizens. Obey the health authorities, stay at home, practice social distancing and proper hygiene. When this is over, and very soon it will be. We shall dance again at the Calabar Carnival, the Eyo Festival, Celebration, Ojudeoba Festival, and Aragongo Festival. When this is over, and very soon it will, we shall flock the beaches again. We shall attend our music concerts again. We shall invite the world once again at the Lagos City Marathon. When this is over, and very soon it will be, we can return to our hustle and bustle. We will gather at our churches and mosques. We shall return to our schools and institutions. Our hope is alive. We are Nigeria, and together we shall rise again. Nigeria Film Corps